Okay, hi all, good morning. So here I'll be discussing one of the assignment question from my regular SQL classroom session. So this is the question. The question is to write a SQL query to list the ID which is present in employee one table but not in employee two table. Okay, but here the condition is considering the duplicate records and null as well. Okay, so here this is employee one table. I have taken very simple data and you have this employee two table. And this is the table structure. Employee one, you have ID 123 1. So intentionally I've taken one duplicate here, and then you have null value here. Okay, and this is the employee two table. You have 3345. Okay, so now coming back to the question. So one way to solve this question is to use not in, right? So if I will run this query, it will give me the result that IDs which is present in employee one but not present in employee two. So if not in, I will execute. I'm getting the output as 112. Let's first of all analyze this. This is the solution one, and for this is the output. So here you can see the engine is telling that these are the IDs which is present in employee one table but not present in employee two table. So we agree that yes, one is present in employee one but it is not present in employee two. Similarly, this one is present in employee one but not present in employee two, and then two is present in employee one but not present in employee two. So this value one, then this two, then this one are present in employee one but not present in employee two. But there is a problem with this solution or with this approach of using not in. The problem is, if you will check the question, in question it is clearly mentioned that considering the duplicate records and null as well. Okay. So here you can see that null is present in employee one table, right? And it is not present in employee two table. So ideally, we want null as well in the output. So as per this question, the expected output is ID 1, 1, 2, and null. So this is what we are expecting. Okay, because in question it is clearly mentioned that if a particular ID is duplicate, I want both the values of that. It means I want the frequency as well and null as well. So if I'm using not in condition here, not in operator here, so this is fine. It is giving me the frequency that if one is missing two times, it will give it two times, right? Because we know that not in operator, it captures if you have duplicate record. But here the problem is null is not covered, right? If I'm using not in operator, so null you can see in the output, I'm not getting null. I'm getting duplicate, that is fine. One is coming twice here, that we are getting, but we're not getting null here. So how to solve this? So then I thought that, okay, we have that minus operator as well, right? Solution two. Select ID from employee one minus select ID from employee two. Okay, so this is the another approach. So with this approach, if I'm using this query, copy paste here. So in this second approach, you see this is the output. I'm getting 1, 2, and null. Now, this approach is able to capture null. I agree. But what's the problem? This approach of using minus, it fails to capture the duplicate, like here ID 1. It is present in employee 1, but not present in employee 2. But in employee 1, it is present twice, right? But your output is giving one only. One is present, one only. So this is not giving the correct or the complete picture, okay? Because many times when you're working in project, a real-time project, so if a particular idea is missing, your business stakeholders are interested in knowing that what is the frequency, how many times this particular transaction idea is missing, right? So if you're showing this picture, so it seems that, okay, this is missing only once, right? So that is why in the question, we want the missing ideas if it is present duplicate or any number of times, 10 times, 100 times, we want to show that and null as well, okay? So from this, what we learned, if I'm using not in, so not in operator captures duplicate, right? But fails to capture null, right? Similarly, if I'm talking about minus, so minus operator captures null, but fails to capture duplicate. So actually, this is the beauty of this question, that which one to use. If I'm using not in operator, it is not able to capture your null records. You can see here null is not present in the output. If I'm using minus, it will capture null, but it fails to capture the duplicate, right? So now how to solve this question? So this question I will break in two parts. The first part is, let's capture the null record, and the second part is, let's capture the duplicate record. So guys, whenever we are trying to solve any SQL question, so proceed in this manner, that what is the problem, how to solve it. If I'm unable to solve, what is the problem? Okay, so break it in chunks, okay, and then try to solve it. So this question, first of all, we will solve it. That first of all, we will consider the case of null, how to catch null. So for this case, what I will do, in this query, I will tell to SQL engine that SQL, just tell me if there is any null record, capture that only. So I'm writing here where ID is null, because in this, first of all, I want to capture the null only. So now if I will execute this query, so this query will tell me that yes, you have a null record which is present in your employee 1 table, but not in employee 2. Okay, so this query will be able to capture the null. Okay, so now again I will write a new. So now our solution 1 will be to capture null records, and to capture null, I will use first of all this query. Okay, so here in this query, you can see I have clearly mentioned select ID from employee 1 where ID is null. It means I'm concentrating only on null record. Okay, then once this is done, then we will write a separate query to capture the duplicate record. So when I'm executing this query, so it is giving me that yes, you have null which is present in employee 1 table, but not in employee 2 table. Okay, so hope this part is clear. Now the second requirement is, let me mark it as requirement 1. So requirement 1 to capture null records, that is done. Now requirement 2. Okay, requirement 2 is to capture duplicate records if it is missing, right? So for this, I will use this query. See, if I will use this query, so you know that not in will capture your duplicate 112, right? It is output. Now this requirement to 1 is scattered using this minus query, because you know that minus can capture null record. Requirement 2 is to capture the duplicate record. So this is the way when you want to solve complex query, break that query in multiple requirements. Now we have two queries. Now how to how to add the output of this two query in a single query. So for that, what we'll do, final query. So here we will try to merge the output of requirement 1 plus requirement 2. Okay. So this is the value we got from requirement 1. And then we have this from requirement 2. So now what we'll do, we will use union all here. Okay. So now you can see we have null 1 1 2 is the output. Let me paste it here. So this is our final query. And this is the output. Copy properly. Okay, so this is the final output. Let me mark here null. So see, this was the expected output 1 1 2 null. We got 1 1 2 null. This is the final output. So from this question, we learned about not in and minus, because in my class, during my class, I have seen many participants, they will be asking this question, that way we can solve the question using not in to find the IDs which is present in one table but missing in another table. Then why we have minus and vice versa. So guys, this is very important to understand the difference of not in and minus, where not in will work, where not in will fail, or where minus will work or where minus will fail. So what we understood, not in can capture your duplicate, but it fails to capture null record. So not just the opposite of this, minus can capture your null, but it fails to capture duplicate record. So in this question, I have shown you that how we can how we can leverage the benefit of both the keywords in a same query. Okay. So hope you would have understood this. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.